talking about sandblasting because I'm just about done sandblasting my car, and there's a lot of things that I wish I had known like a week ago when I started. So I'm going to tell you so you don't have to figure it out on your own. So get yourself an angle grinder with a flat disc on it. I actually started with an 80 grit and took down the first few layers of paint because the paint on my car was like 6 layers thick. So I kind of started with 80 grit, and then I switched to 120 grit, and I take the paint down all the way through the gray, red, more gray, dark red, all that stuff down to about this level where there's like gray and there's a layer of black underneath it, and then you can see a little bit of the metal poking through. And then from there I would take like a 36 or 46 grit of blasting sand and get your whole car mostly down to metal with that like really aggressive grit of sand until only a little bit of the leftover paint is still visible, kind of like this. You can still see how like this is metal, but like up in here and stuff, that's still paint that didn't get fully off. So I would take it down to about there with the 36 grit, and then I would get like a 80 grit of blasting sand and blast it all the way down until you've got clean bare metal like this. And then you're done, and your car will be sandblasted in a couple of days instead of a couple of weeks like me.
Okay, so your recommendation is 120 grit flat disc on an angle grinder, and then you said 36 or 46 grit. Which one?
I use 36. I don't think it matters that much.
And then after that, something like 80 grit to kind of do the final getting everything off?
Yeah. You can also use an 80 grit flat disc at the beginning if your paint's like really thick, which my paint was like an 1/8 inch thick, so I used a more aggressive flat disc, but 80 or 120.
Okay.
I'm using my blasting gun at 80 PSI. I don't know if that's the best, but that's what's working for me.
Does the new blasting gun work better than the old blasting
Yes,
gun?
the new blasting gun is way better.
Okay.
Although I did notice, so that tip, instead of eating through the side of the tip like the ceramic ones were doing, it keeps making the hole bigger and bigger all the way around, which is making it less efficient. So, like, I'm about to go switch tips because I guess it's like not as concentrated and stuff. So once the tip starts getting worn out, it stops being quite as effective.
Okay, cool.